It says I'm live. I don't know that I believe it. Hmm. Okay. Well, we'll find out. Mhm. Okay. Well, according to my sources, I'm actually live now. So, I guess welcome to my day late Tuesday night live, where we're currently sanding down a hood. Oh, thank you, Dowdy. Hey, Gary, how's it going? I am currently sanding down the hood for the Dodge Ram 50 because I went to paint it. I tried aerosol cans. I did a short on that. That didn't work very well. I got an HVLP airless spray gun. That works fantastic. So well, in fact, that I didn't give it enough time to tack up and it wrinkled on me. So that dried. Now I have sanded all the wrinkles out. Those are in filler primer. I'm sanding the filler primer. This is so fun. But, at least I get to do it 4 or 5 times. Other than that, there's not a lot going on. I've driven the Corvair ramp side 3 or 4 times, like up to Home Depot, up to the parts store. It hasn't failed me yet, so that's good. I think I've got it at least to a place where it's drivable. But I still need to work on it. The carburetors aren't quite right. That's going to need more filler primer there after I sand this down. But everything else seems to be okay, so I can start working more on patching up some of the holes in it. Not professionally by any means, but definitely patching holes with self-tappers, pop rivets, some welding, but not much. But right now we're just sanding filler primer. Oh, anything else going on out there I need to know about? I've been doing this for like 2 days. And once I get it built up around the spots that I had to go deeper, sanding all the wrinkles out, then we'll primer this whole hood again and start over. Yep. Currently, we're just using like 400 grit. I am using 400 grit and just kind of sanding down my filler primer because I can't think of anything better to do. I guess I don't have to do this by hand, but if I do it with the orbital sander, you probably won't be able to hear me very well. Who else popped in here? Hey, how's it going, Robert? We are watching me fix this hood. Like I said, I got the aerosol done and it tiger striped it, so I wasn't happy. So I actually went and got a can of pre-reduced factory color. I only got a pint. I figured that would be enough. And if I knew what I was doing, it would be using this airless sprayer. It's the Harbor Freight one, handheld. It works really well. I just didn't give it enough time to tack up, and it wrinkled on me. It wrinkled here, and there, which means I've got to do it again. So that's what we're doing. I probably should have sanded it more and taken it back to primer. or added primer in the first place. All I really did before was rough it up and throw aerosol at it, and then I hoped to paint HVLP right over top of aerosol. It was the same company, same paint. I thought maybe it's fresh enough it will work. It probably would, but I did not give it enough tack time. I don't think. I gave it like less than 10 minutes, and it probably needed more than that. So I'm learning the hard way, as usual. Am I selling my shirts? Well, I haven't made any shirts yet. These are old sample shirts from 4 or 5 years ago when I first started the channel. I bought like 5 sample shirts from a guy that actually was one of my Navy corpsmen. He has his own little t-shirt company on the West Coast, and I asked him to do like a one color and a really small batch, and he did it. But since then, I've changed the logo, and I've never made shirts. I should probably look into some sort of t-shirt shop online where then I can hawk shirt designs. I do have some stickers coming that are a brand new design, so those should be here this week. And if they are, then I'll do a little short on them or a post or something, and just email me your address and I'll send you one of them. I'm not selling them yet. Not really a big enough channel to do that. I'll just take anybody who wants one can have one. So, but nothing on the shirts yet. I will look into that though. Now that I've got a design that I've settled on. But other than that, nothing is going on. The weather is finally nice and cool-ish compared to last week. It only got up to like 80 today, but the humidity is much lower. It was humidity in the 80s and 90s. Now it's probably in the 60s, maybe 50s. Good enough to knock down primer, that's for sure. One thing about filler primer, it definitely fills up the sandpaper quickly. Let me see if I got more 400. That's a 600. That doesn't help. That's an empty box. That doesn't help. Where is my 400? 1500? No. 800? No. That's not it. That's double what I need. What's that one? 800? No. Got a lot of fine sandpaper. It's 800. Got plenty of 800. What's that one? 80. Nope, that's the other way. Too much. Too much is not enough in this case. I could have sworn I had more 400. I've got 220. Okay, well, 220 is the same as 400, except half. Probably be good enough to knock this down a little bit quicker. I'm extremely not professional at painting. This was really the first time I've used anything that's not a rattle can, so might be why it's not going so well. That's coming out okay. If I have more 200 grit. Ooh, a piece of 400. No, I already used that one. Used 400 is no good to me. 500. Nope, used. 600. I might have to do 600, but I don't want to. Oh, 400. Ooh, a clean piece of 400. That'll work. What else do I have? Do I have any over here? No. No, not there. That is definitely not. Okay, well, I don't have a lot of sandpaper. I have a little sandpaper, and that doesn't help. What is that, 60 grit? That ain't no good. Somewhere around here, I've got more sandpaper. I just don't know where that is. 1,000 grit, 800 grit. Oh, I found it. It has all fallen down behind here. 220, that's helpful. Yep, all fall down. What we got? This is 320. 320 would be fantastic. That's what I'm looking for. Now, where's my square? am losing my mind. There it is. All right. I found 320. 320 will be perfect for what I'm doing, as far as I know. Whatever. If anybody knows anything about painting, let me know, because I'm really just doing what I've seen online, and I'm not doing it that well. I have painted model airplanes, again, not well, and not for a very long time. And that was rattle cans. So, again, rattle cans is pretty much what I know. Yep, I definitely am going to have to hit this with more filler primer. I can already see it. Woo! All right, well, got that sanded down a little bit. Let's go ahead and wipe it off and see how we're doing. I don't have I can't even talk. I don't have the replacement paint. Oh, good, people are testing fireworks. I don't have more paint yet, so I'm really just sort of biding my time and trying to figure out what I can possibly do to prep this as good as possible. Things like, maybe open this with a screwdriver so it doesn't take me 30 minutes to do it. That's one thing I could do. All right. These claim to be lint-free rags. I don't buy it. I see lint even as I'm doing this. But I just need to get the dust off. So I was trying to live stream last night, and I was doing something incredibly wrong, I think, or YouTube didn't like me, or something. Because every time I went live last night on the actual feed, it said it was waiting on me, but I was already there. So I I'm not sure what I did wrong with that. I would say I'm looking into that, but I really don't care. It already happened. Um, what I will say is it was the second attempt tonight that got it going. So there's like 7 minutes of me somewhere out in space where I was live streaming and nothing was coming out. But now everybody can just watch me sand and wipe this down all they want. It's fantastic. It's the internet. Real World Garage, what's going on? Coffee filters are supposed to be lint free. So no, that's good to know. I don't know that I have coffee filters out here. I know that I probably would filter coffee through this. I've probably filtered with worse. I know I've filtered coffee with paper towels before. That's probably not good. Of course, I've also just eaten instant coffee before, which is also probably not good. What are you going to do? So, I definitely think we are going to have to hit more of this with filler primer. Here, definitely here. Oh, I'll just show you. I mean, it's not like you're not portable. So, right here, definitely gonna have to hit with more filler primer. Uh, right up here, there's a little bit of a spot that I can tell. Other than that, this looks okay right now. Nope, right here. It's hard to see in the light, but that's definitely a bad spot. This is going to show if I don't fix that. And right here should be pretty easy to see. That needs more work as well, which we've got time. So I guess that's what we're doing. But I do, where did I put the sandpaper? There it is. I do want to hit the top right here with a little bit of 320 before I do that again. So. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. All right. Filler primer. Yay. Hello, Muscle Car Solutions. What streaming software am I using? I'm just going straight YouTube, which is probably part of the problem. I have tried StreamYard before, and that does work as well. But I just went straight to YouTube Studio, the create and go live. That's what I'm doing. And since you two are both here, what am I doing wrong with painting? Anybody got any painting experience? I hit this with aerosol cans after I sanded clear coat down and tiger striped it because the aerosol cans didn't have enough oomph, or I was going too fast, or a combination of both. So I decided, well, I'll break down and get an HVLP gun. Harbor Freight, but HVLP gun. I did, and I got a pint of the factory color pre-reduced, so I didn't even have to worry about that. And I did it, and it worked out well. However, between coats, I didn't wait long enough for it to tack up. So several spots, mostly where you see the primer right now, wrinkled on me, which ruined my day and my paint job. So now, in the process of, I have allowed it to dry, I've sanded all the wrinkles back off, and I just did a coat of filler primer, sanded that down. Now we're going to add more filler primer, and then tomorrow I'll sand that down. I'm waiting on paint anyway, so I can't really do anything. But I'm hoping maybe if I prep better and actually let it tack up for longer, because it's humid out, so I think just wasn't enough time, that I'll be okay. So, but since it is filler primer, I have to sound like I'm wearing a mask for a minute because, well, I'm wearing a mask for a minute. Not that I don't like to breathe paint. Woo! Luke. Use the force, Luke. I love filler primer. Alrighty. Huh? Ooh, wait. Whoop. Nailed it. Okay. Well, that was fun. All right. Back to the real world. What do we got? Nice knee pad. Yes, it is a nice knee pad. It's on my knee and it's padded. Ah, quirky sometimes, all good. Price is Right versus StreamYard. Oh, that's very true. Special mix paint in aerosol can. Many paint stores can make it for you. I did not know it was available in 2K. There is, who is it? Smythe, I want to say, Parts Plus near me. I think I can take them a paint code and they can make paint for me. I'll look into that while I'm waiting on quart size. I mean, I could definitely do a dry first coat with an aerosol can if it's 2K. Darth Vader. Yeah, indeed. All right. Well, the other things you guys missed. Hopefully Wi-Fi works all the way over here. Last night when I was trying to stream and failed miserably, as you do, I managed to get the factory 62 Corvair ramp side master cylinder rebuilt, honed it out, new internals, new dust boot. Everything looks great. That's fine. And I had enough good parts to rebuild both original front wheel cylinders. So I've got 2 spare fronts. I don't know that I have all the parts for 2 backs. I've got this just needs boots, and that'll be good. And then I think I have one more. I'm speculating. Hold on. Speculating. Is this the same? Oh, not the same. I thought maybe I had another one, but those are definitely different. All right, but I can steal the boots off that probably. That'll be complete. I can't remember what this came off of, but it's GM almost definitely. Get off of there. You get off there. Yeah. Open. Yeah. Oh well. What are you gonna do, right? Could be wrong about the 2K, but even if it's not 2K, if Smythe makes the factory color in aerosol, that might be good for like a scratch coat, sort of like a yeah, like a scratch coat. Those wheel cylinder boots are not quite big enough. Dag nabbit. All right, I'll be on the hunt for more of those then at the parts yard probably next time I go. What else we have? Have no fear, Dougster is here. Dougster's Wolverine Garage. What is going on, sir? Just to catch you up, yeah, I'm painting the Ram 50 hood. That one that has been just miserable. Tiger striped with aerosol. Bought the HVLP gun to do it the right way. Didn't wait long enough to tack between coats. And it wrinkled. So sanded down, filled all the wrinkled areas with filler primer. We're on the second coat of filler primer that's drying. And now here we are with me explaining that last night when my live stream didn't work right, I rebuilt 2 wheel cylinders and a master cylinder. So, there's that. Oh, my garage is such a mess right now. Such a mess. And I also figured out that I have plenty of 800,000 and 1500 grit and not enough of the tough stuff like 200, 320, and 400. But that's what Harbor Freight's for. So it should be fine. We're going to converting a 413 big block to rear sump for my truck. Ooh. So 413 is what, the max wedge motor, I think? Hello, Mama M. How are you? We're just here working on things that I've personally messed up, which is most of my stuff. That is definitely. How is that not the right size? That is the same size. Oh no, it's not the same size. All right, fine. It's an eighth of an inch bigger. It's different. Gosh darn it. Oh, that was the only wheel cylinder I had close to that size. So I guess I have one rear wheel cylinder potentially, because I could probably use the boots off the old one. I'm missing a wheel cylinder. I don't think I have one over there, do I? Let's go look. Also, I've got the rear fuel tank for the F-150 is in, and the fuel pump. I just need time to drop that tank so that way I can go back to having dual tanks. You're welcome. Twice, I guess, once you have dual tanks. Do I have a wheel cylinder over here? I could have sworn this thing had 4 wheel cylinders in the passenger seat when I got it, or the bench seat on the passenger side. Apparently not. Okay, well, whatever. I'm missing a wheel cylinder, but 3 out of 4 ain't bad. That's what Meatloaf said, or did he say 2 out of 3? 3 out of 4 is better than 2 out of 3, so we're in there. All right. 800 grit is not going to do what I need to do. So we can put that back into the I'll forget about it until later drawer. 220 is fine. Well, not fine. It's coarse. It's fine that I have it. What's that one? 800. I must have been on like some sort of 800 grit buying spree way back when. I don't even know why. Actually, that may have been from when I had the XJ Wagoneer, and I was sanding the clear coat and re-clearing it. That's potential. 413, 426, 440, all wedge engines. Also raised block. They are all raised block. That's true. B engines, 3. Yep. Okie dokie. Well, other than that, there's not a whole lot going on tonight. What's everybody else working on? Real World Garage. I'm trying to think. The last thing I saw you driving, was it not the Comet? What did you just get back on the road? Wasn't the 55? It had to be the Comet. Let me know. I think I saw the short of you driving the Comet. Hold on to all your old parts. They can't be rebuilt. Yeah, they can be rebuilt by us, but that's about it. Good luck finding some rebuild kits sometimes too. I think this is why my master cylinder wasn't working. I don't know if you can see this, but see this chewed up edge right here? That's where it was leaking. And it had just scored the inside of it. I mean, it only lasted, what, 40, 50 years? So I found out why the master cylinder leaked. It wasn't just corrosion. The boot actually looks like it hit corrosion and then continually just scraped against it until there's a hole. So there you go. Throwing things away. And we're back. What else we got going on? Yes, the Comet. That's what I'm doing right now, watching me. Well, what are you working on the Comet? I know it runs, and I've seen it drive now. I don't know where that project is at. I know your son's S10 with 327 is running, or was running last time I saw. I know the 55 Ford is okay. Don't know where the Comet is, I guess, other than it runs and drives. What are you working on the Comet? Budget rebuilding the engine on the 87 B2600. Yep. That B2600, that is the Mitsubishi G54. It is very hard to find parts for that. Rock Auto, sometimes a lot of eBay, those parts. I was able to find a whole engine rebuild kit on Rock Auto. So they're still out there. It depends on what you're looking for. Like if you want the hazard switch for one of those things, like the early ones, like a Dodge Raider one where the turn signals run through it, good luck. I cannot find those anywhere. Those are like gold. Those just pop up on eBay sometimes. You can't do the Australia route with that because they were completely different over there. In the, what did they call them? Titans, I think, over there, and Pajeros, different setup. So I guess it depends on what you're looking for. At least most of the engine parts I've seen are available. Timing chains are available, obviously. did one. Cylinder heads are available. Yeah, it depends because you can also do the Weber conversion kits. Those are available too. 327 jams. He dailies it. That's awesome. Yeah, 327 and S10 would definitely be a rowdy little daily driver for sure. Guess I should clean up my mess while I wait for everything else to happen because I can't. This is what I was using as a driver to get the wheel cylinders apart. I don't even know what this was originally. Scrap pipe is good pipe. File to put away yet. I have wood glue for a chair project that's never going to be a video. It's just a chair that I need to put back together. Discover that someone already did the balance shaft delete. That's a bonus right there. If somebody's already done that, that means the timing chains have been done, and it's not the original from '87. That's good news. As long as they did it correctly and tightened everything down, so as long as you have oil pressure, they did it correctly. I'm assuming, because if they did it wrong, you wouldn't have oil pressure. Oh, I almost did it wrong, and almost didn't have oil pressure, but then I did it right. I think. All right. That goes over there. That's good there. Wait a minute. No. Yes? No. Okay. This did come with both rear wheel cylinders. Apparently, I just need boots for this one. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I've got wheel cylinders for days. Forgot I even had that. Oh, plenty of brake fluid. Scotch-Brite pads. Does anybody know if Scotch-Brite, like red, gray, or green? I think green is the roughest. Would red Scotch-Brite work okay for sanding through filler primer, or would I be wasting my time? That I don't know. If I'm just trying to rough it up for another coat. Basically, I know nothing about painting. That's what I'm saying. So I'm learning on the fly. Someone already bounced it. I already saw that. Okay, cool. I did hinge the engine cover on that Corvair ramp side. And here's the hinges I used. These are off of some old kitchen cabinet doors that came with the house. And the good thing is this part right here that mounts to the cabinet itself, very narrow, and it fits in between the wheel well and the engine cover, which is really convenient. And then the way this drops, I could just bolt it. The way this drops, I could just bolt it from the backside. So there you go. Instant hinge. Just like that. Boop, done. And I've got 2 spares, just in case. And they are coated, and I think they won't corrode anytime soon because of that, which is nice. And I just found one of my step drill bits that I've been looking for a couple weeks. It was underneath a scrap piece of metal because I am a messy person. There it is. Scotch-Brite, okay. Prefer steel wool for certain applications. Well, Dougster, if I'm trying to go through filler primer just to prep for another coat, would Scotch-Brite be good enough? Because I've got plenty of Scotch-Brite. If I can do that, I will. But if I go and actually get sandpaper like 320 and 400, I can use the orbital sander and it would go quicker, I guess. So it's lazy versus cheap, I guess is my question. Usually the answer is lazy, but sometimes cheap wins. Hey, what's going on, Diecast? Dropping in shows. Hit the thumbs up algorithm. Hope you're doing well. We're doing fairly well. The Corvair engine overheated a couple weeks ago. I did not kill it, but I did fix the fan light, so I'll know when the fan belt comes off next time. Because I only knew that the fan belt was off and it was overheating when the light came on for the oil temperature, and there was smoke everywhere. Not fantastic, but the engine lived to tell the tale. Other than that, I'm learning how to repaint without aerosol cans, which is time consuming and somewhat frustrating, but what is there that's worthwhile? It's not time consuming and frustrating sometimes. A cluttered workplace means a cluttered mind. What does a neat workplace mean? Well, I was unaware of that quote, but I don't know. What is a neat mind? That's pretty subjective. Or an empty mind, I guess. If you put everything away, there's nothing there. That Einstein guy, he had some thoughts for sure. He always looked messy, and he was smart. So I guess that we got that going for us, which is nice. But I am attempting to keep my workbench slightly cleaner. Slightly. I don't want to go too far and say really, really clean because that'll just make me depressed when I don't make it really, really clean, and then I won't do it anymore. So as long as we go for slightly cleaner, I think we'll be okay. I don't, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to save it. I don't need to save this bushing. This was one of my shock bushings in the Corvair. I don't think it's worth saving. We'll get rid of that one. The Corvair stuff is definitely interesting. Oh, holy crap. I need that. I just found something that I need. The back of that SI alternator, I was looking for a pigtail that had the correct 2-wire connection, which is what this is. It's not the pigtail, but it is the connector, which means that I can just slip some regular crimp connects in there. Once I cut the plastic off, they'll fit in there, and I can bend the tangs out, and we'll have this connector. All right, cool. I do need that. Where can I put that where I won't forget it? Probably in my pocket. About the only place I can think of. All right. All right. Thanks for dropping in, Dougster. We will see you at your next live stream, hopefully. I think, probably. But there's not a lot going on right now. What time is it even? Let me look. It's 8:15. Probably do this for another 10-15 minutes and call it a night. I've got some things to do inside. And once I've got this mess cleaned up, hey, anybody need some fuel line flares? Got them. Oh, I knew I had those all along. I don't know where I'm going to put these. Over here. There we go. Way over there is a countertop with nothing but a whole bunch of bolts, nuts, and washers that I used to have in containers, and I keep spreading them out looking for stuff and never putting them back. So I don't really go over there much. Definitely don't want to show it to anybody. That'd be horrible. Oh, wait. Just found something else. Hold on. We don't got it. You don't need it. I do got it, but I still don't need it. Let's see here. Yes. Anybody recognize this? I have like 4 or 5 of these, and I just found another one. Excellent. Very useful. This is going over with the pocket screwdrivers. Bolts and nuts. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is a partial pigtail, and that will slip into here. What side is that on? Somebody is testing fireworks, I swear. Yeah, look at that. Half a pigtail. Done. Ta-da! Hooray! Now I just gotta do the other side. I don't think I saved the wiring off the other side. But now I can't put this in my pocket either. Okay, this is gonna have to go on the bench. Right there. That's fine. Adapter. Vinyl gloves. I never use them, but I have them. That's not true. I use them sometimes. I'm fishing through Super Clean, probably. I don't need that. That's garbage. That's garbage. That's garbage. Garbage. Not garbage. Oh, all right. Well, what do I clean next? I don't know. And clean is relative. I just mean just taking stuff off the surface so I can actually see what's underneath it. Look at that. It's a tabletop. Amazing. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to do live streams that actually impart knowledge or something smart, like Muscle Car Solutions or some of the other ones I've seen, where they actually have a plan. I have no plan. So we're just sort of winging it, which is, I mean, it's the only thing I can do because I don't have a plan. Basically, I'm just cleaning up, and that's about it. Your shop is a disaster too? Well, yeah, you're working on a Mercury comet. I mean, that's a disaster in itself. Uh, I have found these 400 grit net screens that Harbor Freight has. These are very useful. I do like these. They clean out nicely for sanding through stuff. I'll clean those out for tomorrow since I don't have any others. More 400, more 800. 800 not going to help. There we go. Actually, hold on a second here. Is there a better spot? Slightly. Yeah, there's the hood. Oh yeah, I think that coat of filler primer pretty much got us where we need to go. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. So tomorrow, me sanding the rest of this back, and then we'll be ready for the paint when we get the next shipment of factory paint in. I'm gonna close up my waxing grease remover before I forget. But other than that, I have watched countless painting videos over the past few days. I watched a whole bunch on the handheld HVLP sprayers, the cordless ones. They're all really similar. So I went with the Harbor Freight one because it was the least expensive of any of them. And it's pretty simple to set up. I didn't mess that part up, that's for sure. I am a fan of how much it coats and the speed at with it coats. It's sort of like a you can get a turbo can, which I do have. Harbor Freight HVLP sprayer is just like using a turbo can, except you can do whatever color you want because, well, it's not already in a can. That's the only reason I'm not using this on that is because, well, they don't make factory Chrysler / Mitsubishi colors in turbo cans. I painted entire cars with turbo cans, like that white CJ5. It was lime green and it got turbo canned white. Came out fantastic. I think HVLP will be fine. It's the problem is my learning curve is more of a flat line or downhill slope. It's not really that great. No bell curve there for sure. But you know, I guess it's not really a learning curve then if it's a straight line. My learning line. Yep. My learning curve is more like you just keep doing it wrong until one day it clicks and you get it right. It's not really a you slowly get better at it. I just keep trying and failing, and then all of a sudden I can do it. And just the way it is. Gray Scotch Brite, scuff, clean, and shoot. Okay. Gray Scotch Brite is 800 grit, something like that. Is that the finest of the Scotch Brites? I think it goes gray, fine, red, middle, green, rough. I think. Let me know on that one. But I think I have that correct, or at least wrecked. Well, no, that's definitely wrecked. It's not correct. It would be correct if I had a partner helping me do this. That'd be two people, I don't. It's just me, so it's just wrecked normally. Oh, factory color. All right. Well, what else we got going on? Anything? I've cleaned up my mess now, which is nice. You know. It is warm out. That's for sure. The temperature's dropping, but still a little bit warm. That's why I brought the hood inside. I had originally been spray painting it outside. It was in the shade and out of the wind, but the metal was probably still too hot, and that's probably another part of the tiger striping issue I was having was it basically drying before it hits the hood. Uh, so it's inside. Anyways, and now it's too wet-ish when I do it. Gray is 600. Okay. Well, then that'll work. I've got some gray Scotch Brite. Let me put that down with the rest of the stuff. Hold on. We don't got it. You don't need it. Do 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 do. All right. Well, I've got gray Scotch Brite, and I've also got red, which I still have the box for the red, which tells me it's 360. So, good news. I've got plenty of Scotch Brite to use to sand this hood down tomorrow. Excellent. I don't have to go get more stuff. I have too much stuff. I need to thin out my stuff sometimes. No. Sit down on the dirty shop floor. What else is new? Anybody? Anybody else want to come to Cincinnati and paint a hood? I don't. I'll leave Cincinnati if I don't have to paint it. No. It's not that bad. I mean, I joke about it, but I should have known not to leave the hood on. I did know. Thought I could probably get away with it because it was in the shade. But the HVLP gun, I was right on the edge of second coat tack time, and I should have just waited a little bit more because it's kind of humid and warm. I didn't. Eh, what are you gonna do? I should have been doing this right the first time anyway. So we'll sand all this down, then we will primer the entire hood, sand that. By that time, I'll probably paint. We'll be able to do it correctly, as long as I can keep myself from painting it too soon between coats. Weird. It's almost like I need a timer or something. Like my phone probably has one. I know it does. I've used it before. Hey, look, a coolant hose for a Corvair. I don't know why this was in the Corvair parts stuff. It did. I mean, this came with my Corvair parts, and that is heater hose. I don't know what they're possibly using it for, or what they were using it for, but there's a heater hose in my Corvair parts. I mean, even the auxiliary heater was gasoline powered. It's not like there was one that would require a heater hose. That was probably just in there from something else where they were going to use it as insulation, maybe on a line. I could see that. Eh, what are you going to do? All right. Well, it's about that time. We've been streaming for, I don't know, 45 ish minutes, close to an hour. I got sanding done, second coat of filler primer on. Got a fair amount of cleanup work done. If I'm going to say how much I did, I got a fair amount done. So we are going to call it good for today. I will try to figure out why YouTube was saying that I was live, but yet if you went to the live stream, it said it was waiting on me. I don't know what I was doing wrong there yesterday. I will try to figure that out because it did it again today. But that being said, hopefully I'll have some more stuff out on this. I am going to do a long form video on this hood. I've already got the first part of me getting the HVP gun out and messing it up and wrinkling it. That's already filmed. So now we just have to film this part, the sanding down and the repainting. And it'll be a long form of how not to paint things. Yeah. I'm glad you showed up too, real world. I do like your comments. I do take a lot of information from some of your stuff. I mean, you've been doing it for 30 plus years, so that's the kind of advice you need to listen to. Anyways, all right, everybody. I am going to call it good for tonight, and I will hopefully be making some shorts soon. Hopefully, I get paint in and we get a long form out on this soon. If not, well, we'll try to do another live next week. See you next time. End stream.